Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week in Destiny, we opened more doors. Some can call them portals into the Edge of Fate's Kepler's destination, Armor 3.0, and our brand new gear tiering system. There's been so much to share lately, and today is no different. We'll be chatting more about our goals for the new systems and sharing more details about our updated season pass, the rewards pass. Here's the breakdown. Say the date again, live stream recap, Armor 3.0, abilities balance tuning, season pass updates, Bungie Day is coming soon, so let's dig in. If is there ever such a thing as a WTWAB? Yo, shut the fuck up. We fucking had a great TWAB last week. Shut the fuck up. No. Seriously. We had a fantastic TWAB last week. And y'all sitting there just talking yo shit. Now, I don't know how today's TWAB's gonna go. But hold on. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Because right now, we've got a lot of people watching. And you know, we're looking at this week at Bungie right now. So let me say this a little more diplomatically. Lick thy ass. Lick it good. I tune into our next developer stream. This week was all about Armor 3.0, gear tiers, and Sandbox. Next week, let's chat a bit more about Kepler and what's coming with the Edge of Fate. Join us on Tuesday, July the 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific for our second The Edge of Fate developer live stream. We're planning to give you a glimpse of the campaign, crank up the difficulty with the new road tier system, and let you see how this and all the other new Sandbox changes come together. All right? I'm actually really curious about the whole road tier system here. We also have the dev team on the floor ready to share many details about power, progression, the portal, guardian ranks, quality of life changes, and more. Tune in July the 1st. Okay, so we'll be live for that as well. Everyone watching our developer stream on Bungie Twitch channels for at least 15 minutes with their Bungie account linked will earn the Observer Effect emblem as a Twitch drop. Nice. All right. Okay, are you guys... does this next stream intrigue some of you? Aeonians and Exiles and the 9, oh my. If you couldn't attend our first live stream for the Edge of Fate, we've got your back. First up, here's a developer inside discussing Kepler and new destinations that's home to Aeonians and the Exiles, the circumstances that have shaped their existence and the conflict they find themselves in. Also, new destination abilities, baby. Our developers also got to share more information about the new gear tiering system, where weapons and armor can gain bonuses the higher the tier, seasonal gear and artifact, and how they would interact with each other, plus Armor 3.0. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Department of External Observations, Instant Archive item number 0881957. Okay, classification, anomalous object, filed by Audit Agent Perry. Description: a leather-bound binder locked by a numeric code black, filled with documentation regarding space and blank. The binder is scarred with an unknown residue, like rubberized mold. An addition has been made to the pages within blank. Otherwise, the binder itself appears to retain its original properties and pages. Are we getting lore right now? Contains classified information. Information has been stricken from this audit. Agents may request access directly from Dear Moffat? Report the DO binder disappeared from the DO test site on 3/20th, 19 something. What? 19! Ah, damn it. That's our error. Look at that. An anomalous object was found in the back lot outside of DO site number 7 on the ground. It has been confirmed on 3 separate occasions that this object is, in fact, the very same blank binder that the Internal Institute initiated this audit to recover. There's no missing information, but the DO cannot assume the information within has not been copied, and in addition to the binder's content brings up questions of its origin. The II will transfer an investigation of this matter to a more appropriate internal department equipped to analyze temporal blank. Look at the last 4 numbers in the top. Oh, 1957. What does it mean? What does it mean, chat? Discover more lore with the Year of Prophecies Collector's Edition, now available on the Bungie store. Okay. All right. So it's something to do with what we think is 1957. All right, new armor for a new beginning. Armor 1.0 laid the groundwork. Armor 2.0 built upon it with more perks and flair, and Armor 3.0 adds a whole new layer that will allow more build crafting opportunities than ever before. Here to talk about that is our Destiny 2 armor team. It's been a while since our core armor system received a refresh, hasn't it? Armor 2.0 has been with us since the release of the Shadowkeep and has been iterated upon with each release since. From the introduction of stasis, aspects, and fragments to release of prismatic subclass, it's held strong as the world changed around it. It's about time we gave it a well-earned refresh. With the release of Edge of Fate, any new armor release will use the Armor 3.0 system. Don't worry, the armors you already have won't change. They'll just have their stats moved over, 1-to-1, as described a couple weeks ago. While the system was featured in the developer insight video linked above, here's a quick overview of how things will work. Set bonuses. Think of set bonuses like an origin trait for armor, a reflection of the armor's theme that you can fold into the way your build plays. Set bonuses are perks granted when you equip 2 and 4 pieces of armor from the same set. This allows you to either blend 2 separate sets or to commit 2 bonuses from the same set. Each set bonus has been built with both approaches in mind, and we're looking forward to seeing what you creative guardians manage to put together with these new tools. Now, the benefits that set bonuses provide cover a pretty wide range of options, from brand new effects to more familiar tools in a new package. We've included a pair of examples below, and we've got quite a few more in store at launch. So if you prefer something better suited for staying in the fight or for crucible dueling, there will be plenty of new toys to pick from. So right here we have the Aeon Renewal, the 2-piece perk. Force Converter after a final blow with missiles, rocket launchers, and grenade launchers. Sprint for a short time to gain speed booster. We saw this the other day. The 4-piece right here, Reactive Booster. Once per activation of anomalous servos. Sprinting while at critical health, being suspended or being slowed by status effect will immediately grant speed booster for a short duration. So Tech Sec Wrecker, you deal significantly increased kinetic damage to overshields, combatant shields, and constructs. Okay, that's the 2-piece. Concussive rounds. Defeating powerful combatants or breaking a combatant's shield with kinetic damage releases a disorienting kinetic shockwave. Okay, interesting. There's so many things too that fall under the threshold of constructs. I'd actually have to go back and take a look at the list. I mean, this is okay, I guess. You know, you know, show me the spice, Bungie. Show me the spice. Where's the good shit? Armor archetypes. One of the major focuses for us when redesigning how armor works in the Edge of Fate was clarity. Not only do these changes help newer Guardians acclimate to more complex build crafting, they also help experienced players quickly evaluate individual armor drops to decide what is best fit for their build. Armor archetypes are a key part of that effort. Now, each Armor 3.0 drop has a randomly selected armor archetype. Each of the 6 available archetypes are themed around a specific playstyle and determine the 2 highest stats on each piece of armor. Each piece of armor will also roll with a tertiary. Oh, dude, we fucking killed that shit.
Tertiary.
Okay. Third in order or level. That's nice. That's a hot one. Each piece of armor will also roll with a tertiary or lowest stat randomly selected from the remaining 4 stats. Tertiary. Secondary and then tertiary. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Give me another sentence. Cross's skill is tertiary in his trial squad. The fuck did you just say to me? You guys. The primary highest and secondary second highest stats determined by your archetype make armor reliably spiky. We've also updated the armor of ghost mods to increase the odds of a specific archetype dropping to make seeking out the best armor for you easier. Overall, we found the system makes it much easier to earn armor where its stats are landing where you need them to be, rather than in stats you don't want for your build. So Paragon, super primary, melee secondary. Grenadier, grenade primary, super secondary. Specialist, class primary, weapons secondary. Brawler, melee primary, health secondary. Bulwark, health primary, class secondary. Gunner, weapons primary, grenade secondary. Okay, so the Bungie's, I guess they're purposely leaving out weapons and super. You notice that? Yeah, so super and weapons is not, they don't have an archetype for that. That's obviously the stat that we're going to be building into. Or at least those are the 2 stats I'm going to be building into the most. Absolutely. All right, so masterworking. With all the new and shiny armor set bonuses to try out, we wanted to make sure that it was easy to try out a new piece of armor. So we've updated the masterworking system for any Armor 3.0 drops. All Armor 3.0 drops will have their maximum armor energy available regardless of masterwork level. Masterworking armor no longer increases all stats. The amount granted by the primary, secondary, and tertiary. And tertiary stats rolled will not change, with the exception of armor mods. Masterworking now increases your lowest 3 stats on that piece of armor by +1 with each level. This is a maximum of +5 in each or +15 stats total. Okay, so it's obviously still going to be worth masterworking, you know. But that's good. You can try it out. You know what I mean? Gear tiers. A piece of gear's tier represents its quality and strength compared to other legendary drops. For example, higher tier weapons can drop with enhanced perks, special weapon mods, and at tier 5, unique visual effects. For armor, this primarily influences the total stats of each piece of gear. However, tiers 4 and 5 have a couple extra bonuses and extra mod energy going to 11. At tier 4, so that's at tier 4, and a randomly selected tuned stat at tier 5. Tier 5 armor will also always drop with a perfect stat roll of 30 in its primary stats and 25 in its secondary stat and 20 in its tertiary stats. Oh, right there in the tush, baby. That's some good shit right there. All right. That's hot. It's a huge emphasis on getting the higher tier stuff. You know what I mean? Tier 5 looking juice. This is where we live right now. We live in this area. It's kind of where we live. You can possibly get up into this potentially. Tier 5 is ass. You know you're going to be doing more damage, right? With tier 5 weapons and taking less damage with tier 5 armor. It won't matter in the next season. Oh, are you guys saying that this system is going to suck because after 6 months, we'll have to farm for another armor set and another set of tier 5s? Ooh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Look. Here's the thing. No. I see your point. Armor with a tune stat has access to a tuning mod slot, allowing you to choose between moving 5 stats from any other stat to your tune stat or balance tuning, which increases the armor's 3 lowest stats by 1. With all these changes, you might think that your current armor just won't cut it anymore. But that is not the case. Legacy gear will still be useful and a great on-ramp to the new system. We'll have more information on how to earn higher gear tiers, specifics on weapon tiers, and more in an upcoming article. That's probably going to be the blog post next Wednesday. Okay? All right, so this is some of the new gear here that they're showing. We saw this the other day as well. We also took a look at the seasonal gear and refactored it into new gear to provide focus for build crafting throughout the game's various activities. New gear can offer more lethality and PvE content, drop with seasonal bonus power, and receive bonuses from the current seasonal artifact. It is easily identifiable with a unique colored border, and icon background, so that you'll always be able to find it. Specific weapons will also be considered new gear. There will even be an exclusive PvP playlist where players must use new gear to face off against each other, with the intention of being to create a more even playing field for newer players and to test out builds for those who want to experiment. Hot damn it. So you're telling me there's going to be a PvP playlist. You can't play it unless you're rocking the new shit. Hey man, look, I'll take it. Absolutely. As many people every single season that rock the same shit day one, I am so sick of seeing the same overused bullshit in this meta. We knew about this already. Oh, did y'all? Did y'all know about this? I'm gonna be honest with you. I knew about this a long time ago. I just didn't know NDAs and whatever. Sometimes I get my timelines mixed up. Did y'all know about this already? Was this information already out? This was my surprise face. Ah, damn. Well, I don't know. Fucking dope. It's dope. It's good. It's good. Hey man, we're happy, huh? New gear will include a 10% bonus for weapon damage and a 50% bonus for damage resistance. These bonuses will not apply to PvP or the contest mode of the upcoming raid. Oh! Or the contest mode of the upcoming raid. There it is. There it is, everybody. That means I mean, to be honest with you, I would be very surprised if any of us got any tier 5 sets going into the raid. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, you got 2 days. How many of you were y'all not just, what were y'all planning on not sleeping? Were you just gonna stay up for fucking 100 hours straight and just grind your asses off for tier 5 gear? I think this is fine. You know what I mean? We'll have additional information at a later date on how the system works, what gear qualifies, and more. Look, guys. I mean, look, here's the thing, man. I want my gear to mean something. All right? And let's just be real. Do any of you give a shit about seasonal gear? Seriously. You've been probably rocking the same Artifice set now for years. Do any of you ever or have ever cared about seasonal armor? I don't give a shit about it. I wish the armor and its gear sets would be enough to make me use it over everything else. And maybe it will. Maybe it would. But a little more damage resist? Okay. Actually, a lot of damage resist? 15% is significant. That's significant. Dude, let me just say this. This right here, the PvP playlist where players use new gear to face off against each other. Bungie. There should be a weekend inside of Trials where you have to have the new gear. Not all the time. Just one weekend inside of Trials where people have to have the new gear. I think that would be so much fun. Yeah, new gear, new weapons. Absolutely. That involves the new weapons. Low population. I don't give a shit. Dude, the PvP community is always unhappy. It's okay. The population is already low. It's fine. This whole community is a bitch fest. That's right. Bunch of bitches. Hold on. I need a better keyboard warrior meme. Exotic armor. Long term. We hope to eventually add support for exotics to access the benefits of higher tiers using a dedicated system that reflects their nature as a unique centerpiece in your builds. Although this system won't be ready for the Year of Prophecy, we wanted to make sure that exotic armor could benefit from armor archetypes in the reworked masterworking system. While your existing roles will be converted 1-to-1 to the new stats, new drops of exotic armor will be upgraded to Armor 3.0. This means they will have their stats determined by archetypes, receive the new masterworking system, and drop with full mod energy by default. While these drops will not have a specific gear tier, their stats will roll as they were tier 2, 58 to 63 total stats. And once mastered, this should be comparable to all but the very best Armor 2.0 rolls. Now, to make this transition a little bit easier, 81 will be offering 20 free focus exotic armors per account to anyone who has tower access prior to the release of Edge of Fates. This special focusing will be available throughout the Year of Prophecy and will allow you to focus any non-class item exotic from the final shape or before with an archetype of your choice as long as you have it unlocked in collections. Holy shit. As for the exotic class items, they are the only armor from before the Edge of Fate that will be converted fully into the new system. Each one will receive the maximum stats available for an exotic, 30 in the primary stat, 20 in the secondary stat, and 13 in the tertiary stat. To prevent this from massively increasing the number of possible class item rolls, these stats will be assigned based on their rolled perks, the archetype being determined by the left column perk and the Tushi stat by the right column perk. However, this does mean that they can no longer be upgraded to the Artifice armor and will lose any existing Artifice mod slots. Okay. So this will be fully converted. So let's talk about this real quick, guys. How do we feel about the exotics here? First up, 81 will be offering 20 free focus exotic armors per account to anyone who has tower access prior to release of Edge of Fates. And do we want to just hoard our exotic Ingrams too? Tier 2 is hot garbage. Yeah, so right here it says your existing rolls will be converted 1-to-1 to new stats. New drops of exotic armor will be upgraded to Armor 3.0. This means they will have their stats determined by archetypes, receive the new Masterwork system, and drop at full mod energy by default. While these drops will not have a specific gear tier, their stats will roll as if they were tier 2. I wonder why gear 2? I mean, not gear 2, tier 2. Why tier 2? It shouldn't be tier 3. Well, I mean, if for the conversion, I would think. But this is for new drops, right? 63 is not horrible. Oh, dude, I don't know about you guys. I don't keep 63 stat roll exotics. Do y'all? I can delete that shit. For me, 67 or more. Like, it has to be 67, 68. 63 is like an automatic shard. It will be 63 plus the 15 after the masterwork. Okay. Yeah, 73, 78. Did Bungie say why exotic armor pieces, or is it just one of those things they're rolling it out for legendaries first and then they're going to return to exotics? So like, why isn't exotics getting the update right now? My only concern with this is like, when this put us in a situation where we are regrinding exotics, not once, but twice, right? It's like right now I'm actually in the process of getting all of my exotics with high mobility, which I never do, especially for Titan Warlock. But then if I was to regrind exotics again post-launch, I'll be capped at tier 2. And then when it finally gets the upgrade, then I regrind exotics again for tier 5. You're not thinking about it right? Okay, Rose, please hit me with it. If I'm misunderstanding this, tell me, brother. This base stat is way higher than before. Of course it is, because we can all go to 200. Of course they're going to be higher stats than it is currently in our system that has us capped at 200. The point I'm making is you're going to grind for exotic pieces with the stat distributions that you want post-launch, but it'll be capped at tier 2, which means you will eventually have to regrind those same exotic pieces again for tier 4s and tier 5s. Your existing exotics aren't getting brought down to tier 2. New exotics you get from Ada are tier 2. When they introduce the additional tiers for exotics, there will be tier 5 exotics. There's no reason to grind for exotics now. Let's just reread this one more time. Long term, we hope to eventually add support for exotics to access the benefits of higher tiers using a dedicated system that reflects their nature as a unique centerpiece in your builds. Although this system won't be ready for the Year of Prophecy, the whole year, we wanted to make sure that exotic armor could benefit from armor archetypes in the reworked Masterworking system. While your existing rolls will be converted 1-to-1 to the new stats, new drops of exotic armor will be upgraded to Armor 3.0. This means they will have their stats determined by archetypes, receive the new Masterworking system, and drop with full mod energy by default. While these drops will not have a specific gear tier, their stats will roll as if they were tier 2, 58 to 63 total stats, and once mastered, they should be comparable to all but the very best Armor 2.0 rolls. So your current armor will be comparable to a mastered tier 2 armor. Your current armor, your best Armor 2.0 rolls will be comparable to a tier 2 masterwork exotic armor. Oh, this should be comparable to all but the very best Armor 2.0 rolls. So your best Armor 2.0 rolls will still be slightly better. So I guess almost tier 3, right? Essentially tier 3 existing as 1-to-1. I know, you dumb fucks. I'm asking. The current, look. Everyone's saying current, it's going to be 1-to-1. It's still going to be tier 3 at max. It's not fucking tier 5. I know! While your existing roles will be converted 1-to-1 to the new stats, new drops of exotic armor will be upgraded to armor 3.0. But this right here, once masterworked, this will be comparable to all but the very best armor 2.0 roles, which tells me armor 2.0 roles that we currently have, like our adept weapons that are holofoils or shinies, are equivalent to tier 3s. It's tier 3s. That's the cap. It's the fucking cap. So hold up. Is it best to farm exotics now? Is it best to lock in your highest stat roll armor 2.0 rolls right now before Edge of Fate? If your best armor 2.0 rolls is a tier higher or slightly better than a tier 2 masterworked. So we have to wait. The main thing is this. Tier 5 exotics armors are not going to be hitting us until next year. And by next year, I mean after the year of prophecy, which is this entire year, right? Yeah, the entire year through Renegades. That's the main takeaway. I'm curious to know what it is that's holding exotics back from being brought to us in the tier system. Is it a balancing thing, or they worry about stats getting out of hand? I don't necessarily think our builds are going to be incomplete. They just won't be completely optimized, of course, by not having access to tier 5. But I'm just curious why this is not being alone, because exotics are a big part of our builds. So I don't know. Okay. Yeah, these are the exotic class items, and they're different archetypes too. Brawler, Paragon, all that jazz. Let's get into this. Let's talk about gear swapping. We want to highlight one specific change we're making to a specific Warlock exotic chest armor coming to July 15th that we missed in last week's SWID. For those who aren't too deep into build crafting, many Guardians have been leveraging an interesting strategy mid-combat or boss DPS with exotics like Sanguine Alchemy, where they swap gear to take advantage of an alternate exotic bonus that better fits the current point in the encounter's flow. This is to maximize their efficiency and output, resulting in pumping out some incredible boss bakes, especially in ultimatum dungeons. While we fully applaud those throughout the community who want to push the needle as far as it can go, we found that this is presenting balancing issues where it feels mandatory, and we don't feel the main draw of an exotic should be centered around swapping centric strategies. So Sanguine Alchemy, swapping to this exotic in combat will now apply a 10-second cooldown before its perks can be activated. Much like the changes to melee stacking in last week's TWID, we want to be able to make exotics that meaningfully change your gameplay, and at a current, these types of behaviors are constricting how much we can push that bar. The above change is a minor first step that's targeting one exotic during our launch window, but we'll be taking a larger approach later this year. When this holistic fix is implemented, we will re-examine this change and see if it's still necessary. Ooh, what does that mean? The above change is a minor first step that's targeting one exotic during our launch window, but we'll be taking a larger approach later this year. Oh boy. I feel like that just screams not swap for everything. Good. Can I get a poll on this? Or like, how do you guys feel about swapping builds? Because as someone like, especially during solo runs, like for every given encounter, I'll have 3 builds that I swap through. 52%, 51%. Wow, it's actually 50-50 right here. So around 51 to 50% say yes, they are against swapping. 49% say no. All right. Now, featured exotics. Starting with the Edge of Fate, certain exotic armor and weapons will be specially featured, gaining the same benefits as new gear, and will change with each expansion and major update. At the Edge of Fate's launch, 28 exotics and 15 exotic armors for each class will be featured, including all the new Edge of Fate exotic weapons and armor. But don't worry, even if your favorite isn't on the list, you'll still be able to use it in almost everywhere you go. Yeah, we saw this the other day. So this is it right here. We saw Warlocks the other day. So Fellwinter's Helmet, Fallen Sunstar, Nothing Manacles. Wow, dude, I've almost forgotten that even exists. Ball of Doors, Starfire, Wings of Sacred Dawn, Man of Battle Harmony, Matadoxia, okay. Rhyme Coat, Geomag, Promethean Spur, Boots of Dissembler, Seeking Filaments, Swarmers, Unia, which is a new one, okay. For Hunter here, Dragon Shadow, Mask of Bacchus, Blight Ranger, Arachnes, Mask of Filthy, Kepri Sting, Oath Keepers. I'm actually really curious how Oath Keepers can work with the crossbow. Arthur's Embrace, Renewal. And then Precious Scars, Worm God, Ursa. Do I got to set this up on here? Point Contact can Embrace. Wish of Ignorance, good. Press, Actium. No Synthoceps. Son bitch. Alright, DMT, Wicked Implement, Outbreak, Barrow Dyad, Lumina, Wishkeeper, New Land Beyond, Agris, the Navigator, Arbalest, Centrifuge, Tommy, Choir of One, Polaris, Graviton, Arianis, Devil's Ruin, Hierarchy of Needs, Players Fangs, Lodestar, Legend of Acris, Microcosm, Winter Bite, World Line. Oh, wow. Finalities, Augur, third iteration, Graviton Spike, Redacted. What is this a list for? So, the featured exotics list is essentially exotics that will also contribute to you either taking less damage or doing more damage. So these weapons will be doing more damage, like as if it was a seasonal weapon. And these exotic armor pieces, you'll be taking less damage. I don't know how I feel about yeah, like I get behind tier systems and stuff. Featured exotics, it's just, again, it's one of those things. It's just a weird thing because it's like, I don't really like Bungie dictating how I should play. And the feature list makes me feel like Bungie is definitely doing that. You know what I mean? It's not that you can't use the other exotics. You'll be able to still use other exotics, other exotic weapons, of course. There'll just be some, of course, some small disadvantages versus using this. And I guess maybe the feature list is like a way of being like, hey, you new player who doesn't have any idea that Polaris Lance and the new artifact mods is really, really good. Yeah, hey, you see this feature list, use it. And I guess they're hoping that organically as a new player, you'll come across this build on your own. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to use the featured exotic Path of Burning Step with the featured exotic Polaris Lance. But again, I just don't like anything. I don't like being dependent on Bungie figuring out builds for me, as I feel like the community does a much better job. Like everyone just does a much better job of just finding the breakout meta options. All right, balancing the scale of abilities. Stats and abilities go hand in hand, so it's only fitting that we share the remaining upcoming ability changes coming in the Edge of Fates. If you recall, we spoke about melee tuning and other various ability changes in last week's SWID, so check out that information. We spoke about Prismatic's changes a few weeks ago, but to summarize, it's been a bit too hot since release and has made some challenges trivial. So we're reining it in to be more in line with the other subclasses. So Warlock, Prismatic, reduce the number of fragment slots provided by the following aspects: Hellion 3-2, Bleak Watcher 3-2, Dev Notes. The abilities per minute of the Prismatic subclasses are very high, so we're pulling a small amount of efficiency out of their engines to achieve a healthier balance of gunplay and ability usage. Looking forward, we'll be working on making sure the Prismatic subclass feels like they have a variety of great builds. Now, Prismatic Strand, Weaver's Call, Aspect, can now generate thread links on any final blows instead of just strand final blows. Dev Note, this change will allow for easier thread link generation regardless of your build. Wow. That's hot. Void, Pocket Singularity, Melee. Increase Pocket Singularity damage versus non-boss combatants by 20%. Increase Pocket Singularity damage versus boss combatants by 56%. Dev Note, Pocket Singularity was feeling weak compared to other melees, especially given its relatively short range. Titan, Prismatic, reduce the number of fragment slots provided by the following aspects: Consecration from 3 to 2. Solar, Consecration aspect, increase fragment slots provided from 2 to 3. Oh, so it's good on Solar. Okay. But it's 3 on Solar, 2 on Prismatic. Dev Note, we've given Consecration an additional fragment slot on Solar subclass to put it above its Prismatic counterpart. The pure concentrated Solar subclass should have an edge here. Prismatic Strand, Dringer's Lash aspect, increase tracking strength of base to spin wave and Abby and Leap exotic armors to spin wave. Increase base to spin wave travel distance from 20 to 30 meters. Increase Abby and Leaps to spin wave travel distance from 30 meters to 35 meters. Good God. Dev Note, we've seen community feedback that this ability could use some help, so we made it more forgiving. Hot damn. All right, Prismatic Solar, Consecration aspect. Ignition no longer has a plus 20% bonus damage. Dev Note, we made this change to match the other ignition damage scaling changes we mentioned in last week's TWID, making ignition damage consistent across the board. Void, Shield Throw, Melee, increase projectile track and strength by 77%. Hot damn. Dev Note, this melee can be hard to land in the heat of the moment, so we made it track enemies more aggressively. Damn right it's hard to track, dude. I've literally thrown that shield right past my enemy directly in front of me. All right, Storm's Keep aspect. Benefits no longer stack when standing behind multiple barricades. Dev Note, Storm's Keep stacking resulted in faster than intended bolt charge accrual. So if we limit the number of Storm Keep barricades a guardian can benefit from to 1. That's fine, dude. Bolt charge is just so good. That's fine. Hunter, General, Gambler's Dodge. Melee energy return no longer requires dodging near an enemy. That's going to be nuts. Dev Note, with the armor stat changes coming in Edge of Fate, sources of ability energy will now scale based on your ability stats. This includes Gambler's Dodge, because this ability now requires some stat investment to get a full charge back. We're removing the requirement that you're dodged near an enemy for this perk to work. This will make the dodge feel more consistent, returning energy on every dodge instead of only when there are enemies in an invisible circle around the hunter. It's gonna, dude, you only have to get 70. It's gonna be so good, dude. It's either every hunter is gonna be knifing, gonna be smoking. It's gonna be all over the place. Prismatic, reduce the number of fragment slots provided by the following aspects: Ascension from 3 to 2. Winter Shroud from 3 to 2. Prismatic Solar Gunpowder Gamble Aspect. Reduce self-damage from Gunpowder Gamble detonation by 60%. Final blows of all kinds now grant Gunpowder Gamble progress instead of just solar kills. Dev note, blowing yourself up with Gunpowder Gamble is frustrating. So we're significantly reducing the self-damage it does if you're too close to the detonation, and we're making it easier to build stacks. Solar on your mark aspect. Final blows while at 3 stacks of on your mark now make you radiant for a short time. Activating your class ability now gives 1 stack of on your mark instead of 3 stacks. Dev note, we think Gunslinger needs more access to radiant, so we're essentially allowing them to reach a 4th stack of on your mark in the form of radiant. Beyond this, we focus on further improvements, Gunslinger's kit, in an upcoming release. Okay. Arc Ascension Aspect. Ascension now activates the following perks: Armor Mods, Reaper, Powerful Attraction, Outreach, Distribution, Bomber, Dynamo, Exotics, Sword of Inmost Light, Class Item, Gerfalcon's Reserve Overshield. Now all classes: General, increase damage versus bosses, mini bosses, champions by 50% for these grenades: Arc, Flux, Arc Bolt, Flashbang, Storm, Void, Axiom, Suppressor, Solar, Firebolt, Trip Mine, Kinetic, the Rock Grenade on Forerunner. Lore. I might try Storm Grenades again. I use Flashbang, but I mainly just use that for the champion counters, right? All damage types. Ability energy returns from perks and past regeneration now scales based on the requisite stats. Dev note, we covered this topic in a recent tweet. Void Devour. Reduce Devour heal amount from 200 HP to 140 HP. Dev note, Devour has been far and away the most effective form of healing available, and a full heal on every proc feels excessive. This change will better balance Devour against other healing sources and give more value to back-to-back procs. Warlocks, what are you guys gonna do, man? You just don't even know what you know what I mean? You don't even know how to live without full proc Devour. Bro, what's the point of Devour then? Getting 140 health, that's the point. 140 versus 200. They actually specifically mentioned it right here. That's the point. 60 HP isn't everything. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna get people killed. I'm just saying, as someone who's used to getting my full health back, yeah, this shit's gonna get me killed. Strand Suspend. Increase base suspend duration from 5 to 6 seconds. Dev note, to better balance suspend against other crowd control options, we've increased the duration by a second, giving players more time to burn down enemies or prioritize other targets. Now, Stasis. Stasis Shatter. Stasis Shatter damage now stuns overload champions instead of unstoppable champions. Dev note, moving forward, we want to make it clearer how when weapons can gain anti-champion capabilities from sources like the Artifact or Radiant, because stacking Stasis Slow organically leads to Stasis Shatter. It limited how often we could give slow to certain weapons without auto-solving champion encounters. Overload champions are also harder to deal with than unstoppable champions in general, so more ways to bring down overload champions feels valuable. Unstoppable champions can still be stunned by 3 other elemental verbs: Blind, Ignition, and Suspend. That's so random. This has been the most bizarre. I mean, of everything we've read in today's TWAB, this one is just weird. Is this an indirect nerf to Tenacious? Is that what's happening here? I think so. Are they tired of Tenacious having the ability to counter, you know, potentially all 3 champions? Arc Flux Grenades significantly reduce the base cooldown timer, increase projectile size to make it a bit easier to stick targets. Oh, okay. Nice PvP. Dev note, we still want Flux Grenade to be a high damage skill shot, but the long cooldown and high accuracy required were too punishing. All right, new reward pass incoming. Ah, damn, look at this. It's a new era of Destiny 2. And with that comes exciting updates to our seasonal pass model. Much like the olden times, there will be 4 reward passes available during the Year of Prophecy. And just like before, the cost for these reward passes is being reduced to 1,000 silver. But what we're really excited to announce is that every rank reward will be available to earn day 1. No more having to wait for a new act to launch to unlock more ranks. We've adjusted them to feel more rewarding too. For one, we've refactored some boosts and added new ones, removing some of that were determined to be less than desirable. The new boosts offer comprehensive bonuses that apply to a wide range of content, as opposed to narrowly boosting specific season content. So Activity Score Boost now provides a 15% score bonus on all portal activities when fully unlocked. All right. Prime Ingram Boost increase the possibility of desirable armor and weapon drops from the portal activities. Weekly Challenge Boost allows players to complete their various weekly seasonal hub challenges faster, streamlining their access to additional high-value rewards. And XP Boost has been refactored to apply a 40% bonus to XP earnings when fully unlocked, along with a 20% bonus to Fireteam member XP. Additionally, the total number of XP Boost items has been reduced to make space for additional rewards. Pay to win, but cheaper pay to win? I mean, this thing is loaded with a lot of shit, though. All right, secondly, premium track armor rewards have also been reworked so that players will acquire a full set of both PvE and PvP armor, and the free track will offer 5 pieces split between the 2 sets, allowing players to unlock a partial set bonus for each. Thirdly, We took a pass at reward allocation to ensure that we are providing as much value as possible for all players. The allocation of various free rewards has been increased, and the players will be able to acquire more cosmetic rewards within the first 100 ranks of the pass compared to the prior season passes. With a return to 4 passes per year, we reduced the pass ranks down to 110. Why the extra 10, you may ask? Well, they're extra special. While we set out to reduce the overall grind and remove the time gating introduced during episodes, we still wanted to preserve some aspects of the aspirational progression and chase rewards that our larger season passes provided. These additional 10 ranks are packed with valuable rewards for both free and premium players, requiring 500,000 experience each to earn, and can only be acquired through gameplay. While we have ensured that the first 100 ranks provided more value than ever before, we hope that you can also enjoy additional rewards to chase after achieving rank 100. So you cannot buy these ranks. You have to earn them, and they are a chunky amount of XP. Okay, that's these right here. That's a lot of XP. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a season grind. All right, Bungie Day is almost here. No, we didn't name this day ourselves. Our community did, and we'll have more to share about the Day of 7 soon. As part of our annual celebration of you, the Bungie Foundation team is back to host another iteration of celebratory chaos. As part of their continuing mission to help reduce distress and suffering in children through entertainment, and partner with humanitarian organizations at times of natural disaster and crisis, the team is here to talk about the 7th column chaos. So hey there, Guardians, Bungie Day is right around the corner, and we can't wait to once again celebrate the chaos, competition, and compassion of our Lightkeeper community. Bungie Day officially kicks off on 7/7 and will run through 7/29 with the returns to the 2nd edition of our 7th column chaos PvP tournament. 16 teams made up of Bungie Foundation supporters will sweat it out in the Crucible, battling through chaos modifiers to earn bragging rights and bring glory to their NPC mascots. Will the Sweeper bot-led Dust Bunnies and team captain Clean Plays be champs this year? Or maybe returning winner DeFizzle and Colonel Revenges will push for the title again? Let's lock in and have some fun for a good cause. Matches begin 7/7, so stay tuned to the Bungie Foundation social channels for match times. All right, there's your contestants right here. Nice. Of course, with a new campaign comes a fresh wave of rewards to power the work we do together, improving children's health and well-being through our Little Alliance program, delivering rapid humanitarian relief, and building inclusive, welcoming communities for all. We're bringing back 7 fan-favorite emblems, plus an awesome slate of brand new items, so you can rep the Bungie Foundation and push our vital work even further. We'll have more details to share soon. All right. Sexy emblem too. Steam Summer Sale. Now is a great time to catch up on past content you may have missed. As part of Steam Summer Sale, our Destiny 2 expansion bundles and packs will be discounted at up to 92% off starting June 26th and ending July the 14th. This will be your last chance to buy the Final Shape Plus annual pass or the Light and Darkness collection before they are delisted on July the 14th. So Destiny 2, the Light and Darkness collection, 85% off. Legacy collection, 90% off. Final Shape annual pass, 80% off. The upgrade does not include the campaign, 80% off. The Final Shape, 75% off. And then 92% off for Lightfall, the Witch Queen, the Beyond Light pack, Shadowkeep pack, and Forsaken pack. We've got a number of known issues, but it's been a thick TWAB today, guys. As I final notes, what a week, huh? Yeah, we know it's only Thursday, but shoo. The train toward the edge of fate gets even closer, and we're happy to have you on board. There's only 3 weeks left before the next era in Destiny 2 begins, so start making preparations soon. We see you, bounty hoarders. Reminder, we have another live stream next Tuesday, 10 a.m. We hope to see you there. For next week's TWID, we'll be diving into power progression, the portal economy changes, and our plans for Bungie Day. See you star side the Destiny 2 community. P.S. We'd like to take this time to celebrate a kindergarten out there. He just turned 3. So it's a huge milestone in his life. His dad has happily shown him and photos of him off in meetings ever since he was born. So we've all been particularly interested in his development in these past 3 years. Please help us by wishing Kai a happy birthday, or as dad put it in his request, happy birthday in word art. Nice. That's cute. Happy birthday, Kai. All right. How do we feel about today's TWAB? Give me some numbers. Throw some numbers at me. 1 to 10. 10 being amazing, 1 being shite. How we feeling? All right, so getting a lot of numbers right now. I've got some 10s, a couple of 4s, 5s, 7s, some 3s, and some 2s. Okay. I mean, look, man, we'll see how it all shakes out.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.